You've never seen it. Every time you've seen a tattooed star, it's never get a star tattoo. That's the only shape, it doesn't work. Faces, names, and stars. No. Hi, I'm Phil Wang, and these are my firsts for NME. The first film I really loved was Batman Returns from 1992. It's one of Tim Burton's Batmans. It is the sequel to Batman, and it had Danny DeVito as the Penguin and Christopher Walken as the mayor. He was the mayor of Gotham. And it was so brutal and so gross and so violent and so gothic and moody. I loved it. Michael Keaton, an underrated Batman. I mean, I can go as deep into this as you want. My theory is there's never been an actor who was both a good Batman and a good Bruce Wayne. You've had one or the other. You know, there's Val Kilmer, great Batman, terrible Bruce Wayne. Christian Bale, great Bruce Wayne, terrible Batman. Ben Affleck, I think, is and this is gonna sound weird, he's the only actor who's been both a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman. So he's actually the best Batman in all film history, but he got the worst films. The first CD I remember very clearly getting a Shaggy album. Yeah, it's the one with It Wasn't Me on it, I think. Or like some Rat Pack albums. I got really into the Rat Pack and like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra in my teens. So it might have been one of those. I think it's actually a very natural progression to go from Mr. Lover Lover to Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah. I don't know why. I just thought the way Shaggy pronounced words was wonderful. I just thought it was fun. And when you're a kid, you just kind of like those fun pop songs, right? I wish I had a tattoo. And you know what? I wanted a tattoo for like ages. For like 2 or 3 years I wanted a tattoo. And I heard someone say the rule of the tattoo is if you want a tattoo for a year, you should get it. And I wanted a tattoo for 2 or 3 years and then I didn't want it anymore. So it's not true. If you want a tattoo for a year, there's still a very good chance you won't want it. Yeah, never get a girlfriend or boyfriend's name and never get stars. This was something that was pointed out to me a couple of years back and I've never been able to unsee it. You have never seen a good star tattoo. You've never seen it. Every time you've seen a tattooed star, it's never get a star tattoo. That's the only shape, it doesn't work. Faces, names, and stars. No. This is coming from someone who's never had a tattoo. Yeah, my first ever TV appearance was doing stand-up on the Rob Brydon show. Rob Brydon had like a talk show, sort of a Jonathan Ross style talk show, and there was a stand-up segment on it. And I got booked, I was still at university. I think it was my 3rd year. Yeah, it was amazing. I met Will Young in the green room. Nicest guy ever. Will Young was so nice. And I just couldn't believe I was there, and I couldn't believe I was meeting Will Young. And I was just kind of like shy, and he came over and said, "Hi, how are you? Good to meet you." I said, "Hi, yeah, okay." And I think it might have come across as a bit rude. And I've always wanted to meet him again since and say sorry about that. He doesn't, I doubt he remembers. The first gig I can remember going to actually was a Rat Pack tribute act. It was 3 people pretending to be Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. It was on in London somewhere, and my mum got me tickets. I was so excited. And I turned up, and I realized I'd forgotten my glasses. And mum was so upset, she was like, "You're going to miss it." But actually what happened was, because I didn't have my glasses and they were blurred, it actually was more believable that they actually were Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. because I couldn't see that they weren't. So in a way, it was actually more authentic. The first time I was heckled that I can remember was I was at university. I did a lot of stand-up at uni. And I went to Cambridge, and in Cambridge every June you have balls to celebrate the end of the year, and the comedians would perform at different May balls, and you'd get entry as payment. And I remember I did one, and I did some material about being fat, and someone shouted, "You're not fat!" which was nice, but ruined the premise of the whole bit of material. So it was supportive in one way and very disruptive in another. I realize as far as first heckles go, that's quite a nice one. You're not fair. But they got worse after that, don't worry. The worst ones are actually the heckles people don't think you can hear, because they're the most honest. And so just people going, oh, God. Or, you know, someone just going, oh. That's the worst. Because they're not even trying to upset you. They just can't take it anymore. And one of the worst heckles I ever got wasn't actually one I heard, but one I saw. They didn't even say it. It was this couple who'd come to see my show in Edinburgh, and she was just nodding. She was just like this. I'm trying my best, and she was just like. And her husband, who sat next to her, just turned to her and just patted her on the knee like that. And that was the worst thing I've ever seen at a gig. That was the most damning thing I ever saw at a gig, was someone going, "It'll be over soon." That was worse than someone shouting, "Get off." The first joke I was really proud of was my opening joke for years. It became my opening joke for a long, long time. And it was, if you look at me and squint really hard, that's racist. It's talking about comedians who like do an impression of someone. And I went like, comedians like to start by pointing out a celebrity they look like, and it's funny, if you look at me and squint really hard, that's racist. And that was my opening gag for years and years and years and years. That was the first joke that it just kind of fell in my lap. It kind of came fully formed. Yeah, sometimes I'd do that joke and there'd still be someone in the audience going like this, and I hadn't got it yet. It's like, I don't understand, what does it mean? The first thing I'm going to do after my book comes out is to block all tweets with the words Phil Wang and book. No, I don't look up reviews unless I know it's good. I only read good reviews. I'm a confidence player, I've realized this. I'm better if I think I'm good. And a good review will make me better. A bad review won't make me better. But you have to figure this out yourself. Some people need. From time to time, I'll read a negative, well, not a negative review, but a review with a negative element. But it's like, I already knew that's what was wrong with it. But I need the good ones to keep me going, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So yeah, if I know a review is a positive, then I'll read it.